Well, I'm hearing what you're hearing, Francois, that Salah Abdeslam was arrested during a special police operation in Molenbeek at around 5 o'clock this afternoon. We understand he could have sustained a leg injury in the operation, but he's been caught alive. A second suspect, we understand, was also apprehended, who also sustained a leg wound. We understand that the two of them have been taken to hospital. That's according to police who spoke to VRT, that's the Flemish TV station here in Belgium. Now, we understand there was 4 different house raids today, but the main one took place in Molenbeek. Witnesses in the area told police that they used grenades were used in an attempt to get inside. These grenades that are kind of sound bombs or flashbangs and give police troops an advantage over people hiding in a house and allow them to enter and then arrest the suspects. So very good news for the Belgian and French joint cooperation to have perhaps caught tonight Salah Abdeslam alive. They've been trying to find him, of course, for a number of weeks and months since the 13th of November in Paris, and especially in the last 2 or 3 days after those raids over in Forêt. Now, the Belgian Prime Minister, Charles Michel, he's been locked up in talks with Turkey today in the European Union district. He rushed out of those talks and is expected to deliver a speech later on tonight.
Expected to deliver a speech, Maeve, on Tuesday. That joint Franco-Belgian operation caught off guard when there was shooting in that apartment in the Forêt district. Today, from what you're saying, they left nothing to chance. You were telling us earlier that you could see helicopters and hear sirens.
Absolutely. This has all been just developing in the last hour. First, I got on the metro and I could see there was an increased military presence on the streets. And when I got off the metro in the west of Brussels by the Molenbeek area, I could see a helicopter that was patrolling the area. Then I was learning about the fact that that whole area of Rue de Quatre, that street where that apartment he'd been in, was locked off. And then witnesses in the area heard gunshots. So it's been a very successful week for the Belgian authorities, because they learnt as well that the Mohamed Belkaïd, that Algerian man of the 35-year-old that was killed on Tuesday, that he's actually probably Samir Bouzid. He's also a man that was on the most wanted list. He's one of the 2 men that travelled with Salah Abdeslam to Hungary back in September using a fake ID. Now, there are reports that he had actually volunteered before to stage a suicide attack and that he left for Syria back in April 2014. That's just 1 month after he committed a theft here in Belgium.
All right, so 2 arrests, including Salah Abdeslam. Is it still an ongoing siege as we speak?
No, the operation seems to have actually stopped for the moment, and the area has come a bit quieter. As you can imagine, there's a massive media presence now coming upon the area, and everyone's looking for more details on this capture of what is, of course, public enemy number 1, or the most wanted man in Europe, Salah Abdeslam, the man who Europol back in January put on the first as the most wanted criminals out of 57 individuals in Europe. He is, of course, the Belgian-born Moroccan Frenchman who rented a car and used it to drive attackers to the Bataclan Theatre on that 13th of November, that Friday night in Paris, where so many people lost their lives. A bit of justice, perhaps, for the victims tonight, that he has been captured alive.
Captured alive along with 1 other suspect. There were just one final word from you, Maeve. There were confusing, contradictory reports earlier about people possibly killed. Any more on other possible suspects? You say there were raids on 4 different places.
It's too early to say, Francois. This is literally all coming to us in the last half an hour. We know that raids have been ongoing, though, since Tuesday, and the police, along with the French counterparts, have been working on this 24/7. It's likely the federal prosecutor, who's been sending out press statements all through the day, will be keeping us up to date as the night goes on. And, of course, Charles Michel, when he speaks to the press this evening.